So we are inside, guys, the old Denbigh Asylum here in North Wales, infamous for hauntings and just the absolute era of the place, aura of the place. I mean, a lot of it's been knocked down now, as you can see, but we've still got tiles outside. I'm walking down what was once an old corridor here, but this place is absolutely amazing. I just wanted to come have one last look around the old place. Obviously people that have followed the live chats and things like that understand that this is where it all began for me. Used to come here as a preteen, 12, 11 years old, get the bus to Denbigh and check this place out. What a time to be alive. But now at 35 years old, 25, I wanted to come back and have one last look at the old place before it's gone forever. The aura is still here. It's still mind-boggling, this place. It's very icy and snowy, but we'll do our best to check out the old asylum. I mean, look at this. Coming into the first building here. As you can see, the old brickwork, door frames still in. You can see a hell of a lot of it has collapsed now. The long corridors with the big archways. Beautiful paint peel everywhere. Still some remnants of the lights. For me, this is absolutely amazing. I've been coming here for over 20 years. We've still got some glass left in the windows there. You look out and you can see the huge towers. It's something else, it really is. Graffiti everywhere, look. Go up and die. But wow, I remember when this didn't have broken windows. This was some sort of ballroom, I believe, if I remember correctly. But what a magnificent building still. And to think, this will all be knocked down and turned to apartments. Let's have a look around, see what else we can find. Heading up this old staircase now where it said, go up and die. And as I said, look at the paint peel. You can even see the old carvings in the wall. Ivy growing up now. I don't know how safe it is to be coming upstairs. I mean, it's been a while since I've been here, and it was falling apart then. What's crazy about this place is there's actually still carpet here. But like I said, to me this is my childhood. Very nostalgic. This is where Adam Mark Explorers all began. In these corridors. Now covered in paint peel, mould and debris. And we're still going strong. You love to see it. Let's see what else we can find. Look where the doors have been kicked off. Beautiful paint peel. A little insight into the history here. This place was built in the 1840s for the people of North Wales that had mental health issues. Ooh, the floors are a bit dodgy here, look. Yeah, so the people of the 1940s of North Wales and beyond, and people came here for all sorts of reasons. Obviously the insane, as they would have called it back then, lunacy, but even for the daft reasons of having a child out of wedlock, postnatal depression. Check that. And they would be locked up 24/7 in this place. Now Denbigh, like a lot of asylums at the time, was self-sufficient. So it would have its own farms, its own greenhouses to grow crops for the people to eat, and it would be run essentially as a self-sufficient town. outside of the normal town of Denbigh. But what I was reading about this place, just to refresh my memory, was when this place opened, and the sheer size of it, as you can see, this place only had 20 staff members. It had a couple of doctors, a couple of nurses, it had a maid, obviously to go around making the rooms, a couple of cleaners, chef, and that was pretty much it. Some of the treatments for what people had, one of the prescriptions was employment. So literally we're locked up in this place, and to get better you worked for free as a sort of a slave, I suppose you'd compare it to, wouldn't you, because you won't get paid. How insane is that? Pardon the pun. I remember this corridor. You used to be able to walk down this corridor. Yeah, you still can on this bit, but you can see the original floor here still. The old tiled floor. Even got the tiles on the walls still. But yeah, how mental is that? That one of your things to get better was to work. To me that shows they didn't even have a clue what they were talking about. They just wanted to lock people up almost for free labour. Yes, right, okay. So this is the old revolving door, and there is some cells in this part. Look at this. Ooh. Why does someone put vandal grease on a pole like that? But look at this, the old revolving door. And you'd come inside here, and here's some of the old cells, look. The builders are literally just on the other side of that. If one of the old rooms still has the creepiest thing ever in here. Yes, it does. Check this out, guys. So this was here from when I was like 13, 14, look. You. Just says you on all these pieces of paper. I don't know how good this sellotape is, but this has been up for nearly 20 years. And it's still standing today. When we were kids, we were told that a patient had broken back in after the place closing, and that was their cell. And they carried on living in there. And those pieces of paper were all written by some crazy guy who couldn't leave the place. Maybe it was. The huge columns, I was going to say posts. Huge columns still here. You can see why they were painted over in this horrible magnolia colour. But originally, you can see the colours, look, green, orange. If we look out this window here now, look, there's all the work vans. All the folks that are coming in to knock the place down. Boo. We don't like them. They're just doing their job, but I would much prefer to have the old asylum intact. They should be fixing it up, not knocking it down. I mean, this is real history for North Wales. Crazy. Wow. Coming down this corridor now, and once again you can still see the tiles on the walls. There's now trees growing up in the rooms, a few cells in there as well. They'd call them patient rooms, but if you can't leave and you're here 24/7, it's a cell, isn't it? Let's be honest. This was the corridor I was saying you used to be able to just walk straight down. And look, all the ceilings collapsed. It's all around my bloody feet now. Mental. Absolutely mental. I know I keep saying that, probably not the best place to say it, but you know, from me coming here as a child, I'm balancing along beams, everything here. I actually want to head down and get to the main building, the front entrance, and we'll have a little talk about that place when we get there. You can see how it was originally built out the old stone. That's cool. Looks a bit dark in this bit. The floors are so sketchy. This is supposedly one of the most haunted buildings in Britain. It's very famous for being haunted by the spirits that once roamed these halls. But I'm not getting a vibe. Check that out. Actually, I changed my mind. I am getting a bit of a vibe. Here we go, look. Floors collapsed. I mean, check this out. That is a mess. Completely collapsed, all the floors. You can't even get up there. Obviously, I'm here on my own, guys. I'm not going to do anything that I don't need to do or that's too dangerous, because we've got plans for the channel. We need to keep pushing ahead. So I won't be risking my life. Don't worry about that. But we will be seeing as much of this place as physically possible without being the last ghost to live here. Back outside now into the centre courtyard, and look at the ivy growing up the buildings. It's absolutely beautiful. It does always give a proper apocalyptic feeling in this place. It always has. Even back 20 years ago when we used to come here as kids and mess around. I actually remember we came here on like a Tuesday or something like that after school. And then on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm slipping everywhere. Most Haunted were here doing a live in the main building at the front. And they were going on about how haunted and scary it was. And even as a kid then, I was like, I've just been there. We didn't get any haunted vibes or anything. But you know, Derek knows what he's talking about. I love how within an instant you can be inside these old corridors, even with an echo. And then, not even 10 seconds later, you're back outside. It's such a mishmash, this place now. Oh, nearly. The main building. Big tower at the top there. So this is the oldest part of the building. This bit, when it's all knocked down, will be the same. They'll keep this bit. It's listed, so they can't do too much. But I do believe that's why it's taken so long to get work done on this place. Look at this. Outside, in a courtyard. And there's literally, besides this little nick here, a perfect fireplace. I'm walking around on a bloody ice rink here. But it looks quite bright in this building. And as I said, this is the main part, the front entrance. Hopefully it's walkable. Look at this, explorers. Wow. The big old front doors here, look. You'd come in, and obviously you can imagine it, you can see it. Door, and here would be your reception area. Just imagine a counter on there. Somebody working behind there. And look at this. This wouldn't be here, obviously. But check out the fireplace. Right in front of you as you walk in. Still got the carvings on the top. There's some roses, lions there. And then you look down, the floor's gone. You're looking down into a basement. But look at this, huge high ceilings, the big archways. Unreal. Even a safe here, look. Safe still in the wall. After all these years of abandonment. Crazy. Love this place. Where it all began. Out front, you have the big gates that come up the driveway, and then I'll show you on the drone, You have the big tower, and we're in that main building at the front. And look at this, another old safe. Above it, on the office above, a huge fireplace, and the beams are still in. It has actually been given a new roof as well, corrugated roof. As I said, they are going to be keeping this part of the building, so obviously that's why they've restored the roof and things like that, but I don't think they can do much else with it. Not yet anyway. They'll probably have to knock out all these buildings first and just have this one remaining. But imagine living in the apartments, knowing what went on here. They used to do lobotomies, they did all sorts to people, bloodletting. I mean, when this place first opened, most people still believed in exorcisms and possessions. Obviously that changed over the years and it became more hospital-like, but you know, imagine the stories. I do know for 100% fact that at 8 p.m. every night the staff would leave this place and they wouldn't return till 8 a.m. the next day. So for that 12-hour span, the only people in here were the people committed. Literally insane people, mixed with, as we said, people that just had postnatal depression and they just had run of the place. Obviously the worst of the worst would have been locked in their rooms overnight. If you're of sound mind, that must be pretty terrifying. Knowing that whatever, like people with epilepsy would have fits, no one would be here till the next day to come and get you. Imagine the amount of deaths that happened overnight before the staff came the next day. And if you were aware of somebody had passed away, they were stuck there till the next day. Crazy thought, really. I think a lot of people would have come here not too bad, and then maybe with what's happened to people in the place, that's enough to send you insane. Do you know what I mean? Become institutionalized after you've already been locked up for nothing. A bit like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Look at this, guys. I'm doing my best to show as much as possible. As you can see, a lot of it has fallen down and is damaged. But look at the windows, the ivy coming through, absolutely beautiful. You can see here, we once had frosted glass. And the old floors, look, wooden strips. Original doors, still here. Now, I know this part of the asylum, the stairwell. It's one of the only parts with an actual banister. I am looking for... There was like a ballroom. Look at this, guys, the big huge windows. There was like a ballroom. I don't know if that's gone now, because there is a few buildings that have been knocked down, but it'd be interesting to see if we can find it. Look at this, we're out back now, and check this out. The old greenhouses. So a little fact again about Denbigh. The asylum was split into two halves, male wing, female wing, and they also had their own different jobs. Now the males, their jobs would include farming, gardening, growing things, blue jobs, as some women would call it now. But they'd be out in these greenhouses growing the food for 1,500 inmates. I'm calling them inmates, I know they're patients. By today's standards they would be patients, but back then, inmates. And female jobs would include sewing, laundry, collecting water from these huge water towers in the background there. They'd do things like that. And that's what would keep this self-sustaining town going. Just the two different jobs. the two different roles, sorry, not jobs. It's crazy to think, isn't it? You're a woman, so your job is this. Or you're a man, so your job is this. And there was no other qualification needed. Just tits or penis. And that would decide what you would do in this place for your whole duration. Here we go, guys, look. We are now standing in a congregation room, I believe they're called. Like, where people would all come, they'd play some music, they'd chill out. One of those types of rooms. And the different cells, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different cells here. You can still see the original floors. The doorways, look. It's amazing. And then once again, you have the big pillars. And you even have the little room here where nurses would give out medication. Check this out. You even have one on that side as well, look, we'll walk through. So here, medication would be dealt out. You'd keep an eye on your patients, inmates. Same on this side. Oh, so dangerous. Same on this side. You'd hand your medications out. And then you'd play some chilled music. And you'd watch them shuffle around. Or just sit looking out the windows. Thinking, what the hell am I doing here? Just got a strange smell of something there. I don't know what that is. Another little fact about asylums back in the day. So they used colours to calm patients down. As you can see, this originally would have been blue walls, probably to say male side, male wing. And then later on, look, they've painted over in this lemony yellow colour. And that was used, pastel colour, that was used to, because they believed it calmed the patients down. This would be a medical cupboard, look. You can see that would have had glass cabinets. You've got the tiles to keep it all sanitary. So even though this place is pretty much a shell at the moment, you can still see different parts. Like obviously the reception. You can see where they handed out the pills, and you could see that that was a medication room. You can also see that this old corridor would have been absolutely amazing back then. Let's head down, see what else we can find in this place. Okay guys, so I was just walking across the courtyard there, and it looks like security are looking for me. Big high vis on, helmets, just on the other side down that alleyway. We don't want to get thrown out before we've seen as much as we can. But they were 100% looking through the fence, looking for me. Maybe they've heard my beautiful tones, this husky voice. But we're going to have to try and stay low profile. Try and find a hiding place for a bit. Okay, so I'm on the far side, the furthest point away from them, but I do want to try and see if they're still looking for me. I need a window that looks down that road. Okay, here we go. That looks directly down the road. So he was just looking through the fence looking for me. I don't want to get thrown out. Not yet. So we want to stay away from the front building because they can see in there. I want to go into that building down there, but that's where they are. I think the beauty of this place as well is that it is so big. Once you're inside, nobody can find you. I can hear voices. This just got a bit interesting. I do not want to get thrown out. I can't see him now. Can't see him. And I don't believe that they'll be allowed in here to look for me for insurance reasons. So we might be okay. We might be okay for a bit. There. Go. Okay, so I just seen another guy. Full orange. Definitely looking for me. Are they going to find me? Not until I want them to. They're probably waiting on the old bell, to be honest. I just nearly got poked in the eye. Look how overgrown it is, guys. Decades of natural growth. And look at these corridors. You could imagine at one point wheelchairs, patients being pushed past you, people running down the corridors where an emergencies happen, nurses. And look at it today. Soggy, falling apart. Crazy. We do have more cells. I don't want to go too close to that end because that's where whoever's looking for me are. Here we go, here's one of the big ballrooms. Just in here. And then you have the big elevator. Right, lockers. All over the floor. But here's the ballroom, look. Size of this room. Big window there. Look at the walls. That yellow colour. Bars on the windows. That heads out to where the security guard is. But guys, what do you think of the old place? Or what's left of it, what's still standing of it? It's absolutely amazing. And to think the people that were stuck here, basically ran by the inmates and patients. It's crazy, isn't it? So when patients died here, they would be buried in Denbigh's main cemetery. And I do want to check that out to see if we can find some of the inmates that died here. Obviously, even some would have been buried in unmarked graves, depending on how they died. A lot of people would have been mistreated as well in these places. It wasn't until Enoch Powell, a famous politician, said the way people are being treated in these asylums isn't good enough. I think it was called the Lunacy Act. He brought that into play, and then a lot of these asylums had to change how they would treat people. They would have had to have treated them with actual medicines, not just hard work. They changed the game basically for the old asylums, and that's why a lot of them closed down. This one housed 1,500 people at any given time. Imagine that. Out front of the asylum now, and look at this. The old stairwell up to the big double doors that we've seen. Look at the handcrafted banisters. It's subscribed in Latin there. Not sure what it is, I think it's a date. Dunno, Domin, I think that says. But look at this place, man, balcony at the top. Absolutely beautiful. So heading up the steps, imagine if you were being sectioned, this is what you'd see, wouldn't it? As you were walking in. Just looking at these carvings in the stone. Oh shit. Security dog. He's out front. I ain't messing around with a dog. we're gonna go around back. Oh my god. And we're gonna try and... That dog didn't even bark when he seen me. What a crap dog. We're gonna head out back now. And we're gonna try and make our way out. Go find these graves. Okay, so I'm gonna record as I'm leaving, just in case. I mean, man's got a dog. The least I can have is a bloody camera to make sure I'm alright. But I've only got one entrance and one exit. So I assume they know which way I'm gonna come out. That's my one exit out that window. Let's see what's happening. Easy. No mud in my mouth. Fuck's sake. Okay. Let's head out. There's the fence. The dog was over that side. Let's see what's happening. He's going to collar us now, I can feel it. I do want to show you this on the way out as well. Do you know what? Oh, that's a security guard van. I'm going to go show you this before we go. If we get caught, the dog bites me. It's only a dog, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think he's seen me, to be honest. I don't think he's seen me. If he has, he has. So here, this used to be the old morgue. In there, you'd have the fridges where you'd slide the bodies in and out. If a patient passed away, that's where they'd bring them. And they were always separate to the main buildings. I'm not sure why, but I do want to show you this building. Check this out. No idea if you can still get inside. Oh, the old church. So on Sundays, any religious inmates, members of staff, would obviously be brought up to the church to Sunday worship. Still in good condition. Still got the sundial thing on top. But check this out. How amazing is this? You could still have this open as a church. It is separate to the rest of the buildings. Still in not bad condition, but it's crazy to think this asylum was basically its own town. I'm going to put you up through that window. You'll be able to see, I won't. But check this out. Hope you enjoyed that view. I've seen it before. But the old wooden beams along the top, magnificent. But here we go, guys. Denbigh Asylum 2025. Probably the last time somebody's going to come here and check this place out before it's demolished. It's got security, obviously, dogs. It is absolutely amazing. You can see the big towers, all the buildings there. Yeah, absolutely no idea where that security guard's gone. But we're heading out. But we are just going to pass one more outbuilding. I say outbuilding. Like a bloody mansion. Like a mega mansion. Right, check this out, guys. So anyone on shift, probably later on in the asylum's life, because earlier on you only had 20 staff and they all lived in there. But later on, the nurses' quarters here would have been used by, obviously, sisters working, nurses, doctors, anyone on shift overnight. Here we are, guys, look at this. Absolutely magnificent building. I would normally go in, but I don't know if you can make it out. They've got mesh over all the windows. and we're not partial to doing any damage. But look at the size of this building. Even the steps going up, unreal. Imagine selling that in today's money. So as I said, nurses, anyone working overnight shifts would have stayed in this place. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But what a place, Denbigh Asylum. Still going strong, nice explore, even in 2025. Amazing history. Some people say it's haunted. I've never really got a haunted vibe in there. Nothing like that. But still, as I said, where it all began for old Adam Mark Explorers. Let's go find these graveyards and see what's happening. Ooh, sheep. Okay guys, so just a quick little research there. And where a lot of the patients that passed away in Denbigh were buried is all the way on Anglesey. And that's a good hour and a half drive. But a lot of them were also buried in Denbigh Cemetery, so we're going to head there now. And what's crazy is the actual numbers of people that passed away there. So as I said, it fit 1,500 people at any given time. And the amount of deaths in that place, 6,132. Over 6,100 people passed away in that building that we were just in. That is absolutely unbelievable numbers. Okay, I suppose we are here. Denbigh Cemetery. You just walk straight in? Yeah, of course you can. I've never been here before. Why would I? But I just want to check. So 1880 to 1910. I'm trying to see if I can see an older part of the cemetery. It's quite maintained, quite looked after. A lot better than some we've seen. But in the background as well, you can still see Denbigh Asylum. So even though after death you still haven't escaped. Crazy thought. 1960s. Here we go, 1950s. Where would the older ones be? I assume near the back, no? Here we go, 1920s. Yep, 1925. 1894. Wow, this is incredible. How old are these bloody headstones? See, in my head, when I was thinking, oh, they would have been buried by the asylum, I was thinking just little concrete mounds, concrete headstones, like this over here. This is what I was thinking. Oh, here we go, look. Wow, this plaque commemorates the patients of North Wales Hospital, Denbigh, who have been buried in this vicinity. O Lord, eternal rest, and may light perpetual shine upon them. Okay, so they don't have headstones. This is where they're buried. They don't even have headstones. There's one here. Memory of Jane Ann Hutchinson, born March 10th, 1858, died October 1932. That's the only headstone over here. But this is where the plaque is. This is it. And that's why you have no headstones. It's just been left. Wow. They didn't even give them a headstone. Just a plaque to say this is where they are. Okay, explorers, there you have it. Denbigh Cemetery. Literally, I was thinking they would have little headstones, little crosses or something with a name, a date, nothing. Just a plaque. No headstones, just saying in memoriam of the patients of the North Wales Hospital, Denbigh. Such a sombre ending to the people, the patients, the inmates And I mean, they're still in view. The old asylum's still looking over them, still staring down on them. Even after death, they couldn't escape. Wow. Anyway guys, hope you've enjoyed it. It's been absolutely amazing, and even coming to check out where the inmates were buried. So like I said, taking you back to where it all began at Denbigh. Hope you've enjoyed it guys. Over the next few weeks we're going to be going to one of the most insane places in Europe. So remember, you're subscribed. Only 40% of the people watching are actually subscribed. So hit that subscribe button, it's completely free. It helps me out so much, and it lets me know that you're enjoying the videos. So if you're watching on your phone, hit the subscribe. If you're watching on the telly, pull out your phone, subscribe, and we will see you next week for another amazing adventure. Let's do it.